The Galactic Council chambers fell silent as Ambassador Kane stepped forward, his weathered face betraying no emotion despite the weight of 17 worlds pressing down upon his shoulders. The assembled representatives from across the galaxy had spent the better part of 3 cycles debating humanity's fate, and their verdict was clear. Extinction. High Regent Voss of the Alterian Empire leaned forward in his crystalline throne, his 4 eyes gleaming with satisfaction. The human delegation has heard our terms. Your species will surrender all colonial holdings, submit to sterilization protocols, and accept permanent confinement to your birth world. These are not negotiations. Kane's jaw tightened almost imperceptibly. Behind him, Captain Morris and Dr. Reed remained motionless, though both had served long enough to recognize the dangerous stillness that preceded their ambassador's most decisive moments. "And if we refuse?" Kane asked, his voice carrying. Across the vast chamber with unsettling calm, the regent's laugh was a harsh sound, echoed by several other species representatives. "Human, your entire military consists of primitive kinetic weapons and chemical propulsion. We possess energy shields, antimatter cannons, and fleets that number in the millions. What could your pathetic species possibly do against the combined might of the galaxy?" Kane nodded slowly, as if considering the question with genuine interest. "You know, Regent, you raise an excellent point about our technological limitations. We humans have always been rather behind the curve when it comes. 2 elegant solutions." He began walking toward the center of the chamber, his hands clasped behind his back. "Take warfare, for instance. You've developed these magnificent energy weapons that can carve through matter at the molecular level. Truly impressive. We're still throwing chunks of metal at high velocity, relatively speaking." Several representatives exchanged amused glances. The human was apparently conceding defeat before the formal declaration had even been made. However, Kane continued, his tone remaining conversational, "We do have one small advantage that our primitive nature has afforded us. You see, when you've spent thousands of years throwing rocks at each other with increasing efficiency, you develop a rather unique perspective on problem solving." He stopped in the exact center of the chamber and turned to face the assembled representatives. "You asked what my pathetic species could possibly do. Would you like me to show you?" Before anyone could respond, Kane spoke a single word into his communication device. Confirmation received.
"Execute.
Protocol 7. Main. The chamber's main display screen flickered to life, showing real-time feeds from 17 different star systems. Each screen displayed the same impossible sight: human vessels, appearing as if from nowhere, positioned at precise coordinates around inhabited worlds. "Impossible," breathed Commander Thex of the Regilian Defense Force. "Our sensors detected no human ships. Our early warning systems showed nothing." Kane smiled for the first time since entering the chamber. "That's because you were looking for ships, Commander. We stopped using ships for this particular operation about 6 months ago." The displays zoomed in, revealing the truth that sent waves of horror through the assembled delegates. The objects weren't ships at all, but asteroids, each one roughly the size of a small moon, each one moving at tremendous velocity toward populated worlds. "You see," Kane explained, his voice never losing its conversational tone, "when you master kinetic weapons, you eventually realize that the best kinetic weapon is simply mass multiplied by velocity. We've been moving these asteroids for the better part of a year, using gravitational assists and minimal propulsion to avoid detection. They're currently traveling at approximately 12% of light speed." Regent Voss rose from his throne, his composure finally cracking. "This is madness. You would commit genocide against billions of innocent beings, would I?" Kane asked, raising an eyebrow. "The asteroids won't reach their targets for another 47 minutes. That's plenty of time to evacuate, assuming you have sufficient transport capacity. Of course, your energy shields won't help much against this particular type of kinetic weapon. It's hard to deflect something with that much mass and momentum." The chamber erupted in chaos as representatives frantically contacted their homeworlds, shouting orders for immediate evacuations. Kane waited patiently for the noise to subside before continuing. "Now, I want to be absolutely clear about something," he said, his voice cutting through the panic. Those asteroids can be deflected. We've installed small course correction systems. On each one, simple command from me will send them harmlessly into empty space. The chamber fell silent again, every eye fixed on the human ambassador. But, Kane continued, I'll only give that command after we've reached a new understanding. You demanded our surrender and spoke of your superior numbers and technology. You chose Battle Regent. Now you get to see what human warfare actually looks like when we stop holding back. He gestured to the screens showing the approaching asteroids. We don't need energy shields or antimatter cannons. We don't need faster-than-light travel or molecular disruptors. We just need to be patient, thorough, and absolutely ruthless when... Cornered, High Regent Voss sank back into his throne, the weight of the situation finally settling on his shoulders. What do you want? Kane's expression never changed. A new treaty? Equal representation in the Galactic Council? Full recognition of human territorial claims? And a formal apology for this afternoon's rather undiplomatic language. He checked his timepiece with theatrical precision. You have 43 minutes to decide. After that, the asteroids will be too close to deflect safely, and 17 of your most important worlds will become very large impact craters. The vote was unanimous.